Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called Discover the Netherlands, Best Organized Country in the World, 70 Fascinating Facts. So I do know that usually, I think the Netherlands, at least I'm under that impression, that it is a very quiet country, but also they are very organized and they do very well at engineering things. So I think it lends itself to, well, they are so organized, because the fact that they're building so many things and they're so great at engineering tells me that of course they're going to be organized. That doesn't happen by chance. So I'm guessing it's going to be more of that, but it says 70 fascinating facts, which there are a lot, and I don't think all of them had to do with engineering. So I don't really know. Maybe it's all societal norms. Maybe I think people maybe tend to follow the norms usually. I don't know, when it comes to just general laws, maybe. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. So let's check it out and comment, subscribe, and start.
The Netherlands is one of the most prominent countries in Europe, especially for lovers of arts. After all, it is home to one of the most prolific 19th century painters, Vincent van Gogh.
Rembrandt?
But it's much more than that. Renowned for its innovative urban planning, tulips, canals, water management, and liberal attitude, this is a must-visit location for tourists. In this video, we will shed light on all the fun things hidden in this beautiful European nation. Get ready to learn all the fascinating facts about the Netherlands. 1. The Netherlands was known worldwide as Holland for a long time. However, it is not an actual name but was only a nickname for the Dutch country. 2.
What was the nickname?
It has one of the highest population densities in Europe. 3. The Netherlands holds the distinction of being the world's second largest exporter in the agricultural sector.
That's
in fact, it is the world's main producer of cheese, peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers.
Tomatoes?
4. Amsterdam, the Dutch capital, has more canals than Venice, Italy. 5. One-third of the Dutch territory, roughly speaking, is below sea level, while another 1/3 is very close to the official zero measure level. 6. The Dutch are known for their innovative approach to water management, including the construction of delta work to protect against flooding. 7. The Netherlands ranks among the top 5 happiest countries in the world. 8. And not only in the happiness index, but the Dutch are also the healthiest in the world when it comes to diet. The Netherlands ranks number 1 for having the most plentiful, nutritious, healthy, and affordable food.
Good for them.
The Netherlands boasts a total of 20 national parks within its borders. Some famous ones are the Hoge Veluwe, Bijbosch, Zuid-Kennemerland National Park, and Oosterschelde National Park.
That's so weird.
Dutch cuisine includes traditional dishes such as urwensoep, green pea soup, stamppot, mashed potato, meat and vegetable, haring, raw herring, and bitterballen, deep-fried meat and stew balls.
It's fried.
11. Rotterdam is Europe's largest port and a major hub for international trade. 12. Flevoland, a province in the Netherlands, is a polder, a piece of land reclaimed from underwater. It was created from the Zuiderzee, a former inlet of the North Sea. So, Flevoland is literally land that was once underwater.
What does it mean, Flevoland?
One prejudice about the Dutch is that they can be greedy, which has even led to the term going Dutch, which means that everyone pays for themselves when participating in a group activity. 14. The Netherlands is the world leader in cultivating and maintaining flowers and plants, and it is a significant part of the Dutch economy. Tulips are the most widespread flowers in the country and may be found in public parks and many gardens.
Oh, I love it.
The Dutch flowers are so famous that there's even an attraction park called Keukenhof Gardens, also known as the Gardens of Europe, where you can find beautiful Dutch tulips among other flowers.
Oh my god, I want to go
16.
there.
Another nice place to visit is Giethoorn, a picturesque village surrounded by canals in the country's eastern part. When you visit this village, don't forget to take a boat trip.
It looks like a suburb.
17. The Netherlands takes its love for bicycles to the next level, with a staggering number of over 22 million bicycles, outnumbering the country's population of 17 million residents. It's a pedal-powered paradise. 18. With their love for cycling, it's no surprise that in the Netherlands, cyclists are legally obligated to have a working bell on their bicycles. The Dutch are also not allowed to ride a bicycle when drunk. 19. Due to the country's flat terrain, the highest point in the Netherlands, standing at approximately 323 meters, is referred to as a mountain. 20.
That's so funny.
Although the Dutch
That's
country
small.
has the highest English proficiency in the world, the Netherlands has only one official language, the Dutch language.
Really?
It
I
is
thought they had
spoken by
more.
at least 95% of the total population,
So
a majority
everyone?
of which also speak English as a second language. 21. In the Netherlands, 1/5 of the population is foreign-born, with over 3 million residents
Okay,
representing diverse backgrounds.
3 million.
22. More than half of the country's immigrants are of non-Western origin from countries like Turkey, Suriname, and Morocco.
Really?
This
And why?
multicultural mix is the reason behind many delicious ethnic foods in major Dutch cities.
Yeah, they have to eat like pretty
23.
well.
Did you know that the Dutch invented the first stock market in the world? The Amsterdam Stock Exchange was invented
What?
by Dutch legislators
When is
and
it?
businessmen
Where was
back
it?
in 1602. 24. The
1602.
Dutch are the world's
Pretty
tallest
old.
people, with an average height of 175.62 centimeters.
This doesn't surprise me at all.
25. The Netherlands is famous for its clean energy initiatives,
Windmills.
especially through windmills. The Netherlands is home to over 1,000 windmills, offering visitors the chance to explore these iconic
That's
structures
crazy.
all year
That's
round.
way too many windmills.
26. The Dutch always consult their agenda and do not appreciate surprise visits. 27.
Good for them as
Almost
well.
all Dutch people can swim, skate, ice skate, and ride a bike.
Whoa, ice
28.
skating?
The Dutch have been wearing a pair of
the
wooden
clogs.
clogs since medieval times to protect their feet while doing hard labor. However, they aren't worn anymore except in some rural areas. A whopping
I have so many
6
questions
million
about this.
souvenir clogs are still produced each year. 29. Besides, the Netherlands is a world leader in producing
yeah.
beer.
Pretty good
Popular
beer.
brands like
And Amstel.
Heineken and Amstel have originated here. 30. Gin is also one of the native Dutch products. In fact, the Netherlands is credited with inventing the gin, which was
Oh.
then passed on to the Brits in the 16th century.
We invented the gin.
The national color of the Netherlands is orange,
Yeah, why?
symbolizing the Royal House of Orange. 32. In celebration
Oh.
of their rich heritage, the Dutch proudly don the color orange on days of national pride,
Yeah.
and even their sports teams sport
love it.
vibrant orange uniforms.
Yeah, it looks very vibrant. I love it.
33. The Dutch celebrate King's Day on 27th April every year, in which
Oh, in
they
April.
dress in orange and celebrate their country with outdoor parties, picnics, and parades.
Sounds so fun.
34. The flag of the Netherlands features a horizontal tricolor of red, white, and blue, resembling the French flag turned 90 degrees to the left.
Oh my god, it's
35.
true!
According to UNICEF, the Netherlands is one of the best countries for children to live in. 36. The
Why?
Netherlands has one of the highest concentrations of museums in the world. Rembrandt,
Oh.
Vermeer, Steen, Van Gogh, and Mondrian are some of the most famous Dutch
Yeah,
painters.
Mondrian was also Dutch.
37.
So many Dutch
Every
painters.
city has its own opening hours for shopping on Sundays. 38.
Nightmare.
The Dutch national anthem, the Wilhelmus, was composed in 1572 and
That's
is the
so
oldest
old.
in the world.
Oh, okay.
39. Places of worship can be found all across the country, even though the Dutch are quite secular. Only 20% of them attend services on a regular basis.
Wow, that's
40.
so interesting.
They are the 5th biggest coffee drinkers in the world. 41.
They're after my
One
heart.
out of 3 Dutch belongs to a sports club. 42.
So they're sportsy.
The Dutch have the longest average lifespans in the entire world. 43.
Okay,
The Dutch were
how
the
do they
first
last?
Europeans to discover Australia and New Zealand. 44.
But it didn't
the
say.
Netherlands is the 4th largest investor in the US. 45. Dutch inventions include the compact disc, the microscope, the telescope, the mercury thermometer, and the
Oh, the
artificial
thermometer.
heart. 46. The Hague is dubbed the legal capital of the world since
Yeah.
5 international courts are located nearby. 47. The Netherlands proudly holds the distinction of being a founding member of the EU, the NATO, and the OECD.
Oh my god, they found so many
48.
things.
There's a famous myth that in the 17th century, the Netherlands started cultivating orange carrots as a tribute to William of Orange, who led the struggle for Dutch
Oh,
independence.
because orange is like the last
49.
name.
The Netherlands is known to be a progressive and liberal nation, and this is partly due to the fact that the Netherlands was the first country to legalize same-sex marriage in
That's
2001. 50. As many as 1 in 8 Dutch babies are born at home. This is one of the highest
What?
rates of home births in the developed world.
Okay, that's
51.
crazy.
As part of the Dutch government's efforts to combat climate change, they have set a goal to reduce emissions by 49% by 2030. One of the measures
That's what we're
included in
at.
their national climate agreement is the plan to ensure that all new cars in the country are emission-free by 2030. 52.
Wow,
The
that's
Netherlands is
surprising
the
to me.
only country with a national dog called the Keeshond, also
Oh my God,
known
they have
as
a
the
dog?
Smiling Dutchman. 53. Most windmills in the Netherlands were wind-driven pumps. Nowadays, they have been replaced by electric pumping stations. 54.
That makes sense.
There is a canal system throughout the Netherlands made for defense and transportation.
Defense of
Amsterdam
what?
has over 60 miles of canals. 55. Holland's soft subsoil has a great advantage. All cables, tubes,
What?
and pipes can be neatly hidden underground. 56. The Dutch are famous for their circle parties in which they all sit together in a circle, chatting with the person next to them. This is how they celebrate birthdays and even parties.
That looks
57.
weird, but I would love
Dutch
to go with one of
ladies
those.
have to get kissed on the cheek 3 times, right, left, right. Expats may get
Oh, in
by
the
with
air.
shaking hands, though. 58. The Dutch
Okay.
may not be known for initiating conversations, but when you address them, they respond promptly and with
Oh, because they're
enthusiasm.
reserved. Okay.
59. Amsterdam Airport Schiphol offers the most direct flights in Europe. With at least 4,861 direct flights each week, Amsterdam
That's so
Airport
crazy.
Schiphol offers the greatest direct connectivity of all European
But
airports.
why? So weird.
60.
Such a small
CDs,
country.
DVDs, and Blu-rays were all invented in the Netherlands by Philips. 61. The company also developed and popularized many home electronics in Europe, such as TVs and blenders.
Like all of
62.
them.
After 33 years of ruling the Netherlands,
was a queen.
Beatrix abdicated the throne in 2013 and handed it to her son Prince. The 75-year-old monarch's abdication made William Alexander the first king in the Netherlands since 1890. 63. The Dutch
1890,
king flies
wow.
for KLM. Willem Alexander is known to have a passion for flying. He
Oh,
worked as a
the pilot.
co-pilot for KLM Royal Dutch Airlines for over 2 decades.
Oh my god, he worked as a
64.
pilot in a commercial
You will be
airline.
surprised to know that Amsterdam is built on wooden poles to keep the city above sea level.
Wood?
65.
What?
The
No
area
metal?
of Holland has narrow buildings because of the taxes which were levied in the last century. 66. A Dutchman
taxes.
named Van Houten created the cocoa powder pressing method in 1870, turning it into an industry.
Oh my god, that's yeah, the
67.
cocoa powder.
Everyone in the Dutch supermarkets is required to bring their own bags for fruit and vegetables to reduce
recyclable,
plastic.
yeah.
68. Some trains in the Netherlands are powered solely by wind power. 69.
What? How does it
the
work?
Netherlands is known
Oh,
for its
Gouda.
cheese, but the Dutch are one of the most lactose intolerant people in the world. 70. The Dutch
No.
country is one of the biggest exporters of pork. Over 70% of the world's bacon
Pork.
comes from the Netherlands. Thank you for watching this video about the beautiful country of the Netherlands. Did you learn anything? Which of the
A lot,
fun
actually.
facts was your favorite? Kindly let us know in the comments below and make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you are still curious about this neglected location, you may have to spend your next vacation in the Netherlands. We hope
Definitely.
this video inspires you to continue learning and exploring the beautiful countries in Europe.
Okay, so many things. I don't even know where to start. At the top of my head, it's so crazy to me that the prince, like the crown prince, because he was prince, now he's the king, but he used to be the prince. He worked like for 2 decades as a commercial pilot for KLM. Like, what do you mean? So if you were flying KLM, like the co-pilot may have been the crown prince. That's crazy to me, because I know that obviously like royals do have jobs, but you know, usually it's, I think maybe I've never heard, I don't know, because well, they have jobs, but they're not like normal people jobs. They do other things. And I was expecting, I know that some of them serve like military time or something in the army, but again, it's like in the army. It's not like it's your pilot. Hey, I'm your pilot and I'm the prince. It's like that's so random. That's so weird to me. And I've completely unexpected because I've never heard of anything like that before. Like the actual crown prince has a normal like job where he interacts with peasants and people, just like normal regular people. But it's so funny, the cheese fact, it's so funny because it's sad because they have like so many incredible cheese. Although I know that yes, being lactose intolerant, like it's a thing, it's a problem. Like, but it's like it's so funny that it's like, oh, so how come they invented and they are so good at cheese, but most of them cannot eat it. Well, maybe they can. I think it's like it's worth it. I think when it comes to cheese, I think the mentality is, you know what, maybe this is not gonna be like that great for me, but I'm gonna hedge my bets and I'm gonna do it anyway. So maybe that's the mentality. The trains that are completely powered by wind power, I don't know how that works, actually. I don't know how power works in general. I am not like that. I'm not like an engineer. I don't know anything about this. But it's weird that I have no idea, because I'm thinking electricity, you know, with electricity, I think there's like wires and stuff. So how is like powered by the wind? I don't understand how they actually transform like the wind power from the windmills into actual power that can be harvested and used for things like that. But you know, it's crazy, and I can't, because actually like wind power, I don't think I've heard of. I think maybe like only the Dutch, I think they're the only ones that I've heard actually like using like in mass produced like electricity or power actually with like wind power, because other countries I've heard of using, you know, just like water. I think it's more common. That I still don't really understand how you convert like the water into electricity, but okay, that's another thing. But yeah, the wind power, I'm surprised that, you know, they have, but you know, it's crazy because I've never heard of it before. But again, like I think the Netherlands really does lend itself to it, because it's a country that with a lot of wind, so obviously they have to use what they have. So I love it, but it's crazy. The national parks, kind of surprised by the national parks, because I was expecting, I think when you tell me like, oh, it's a national park, I'm thinking more of like a lot of greenery, like woods, or maybe like rivers, maybe beaches. I'm thinking some sort of sword lakes, you know, because I don't know, that's what I'm used to. That they were showing like the landscapes and photos and clips, and it looked kind of like a little desolated in a way. I don't know, it surprised me. Maybe it was the clips that they used, but I was expecting more trees, and it was more like flat terrain. But maybe it's a national park because of some other like thing that's on it. I don't know. It's weird. I'm seeing because I saw a lot of like, I don't know, a lot of soil, and I'm thinking, when I'm thinking about a national park, I'm thinking more like greenery and lush, or maybe just like mountains, which is weird actually, because I think the Netherlands doesn't really have mountains. I think it's like a very flat terrain throughout the country, and also leads me to like the highest point, which is like a tower or something. And it's like, oh, it's the tallest in the country, and it's like, okay, so how tall is it? And it's like 300 or 600 meters or 300 meters. It's like, so actually that's quite small, I think. Like it's you have two buildings taller than that, I think, maybe, I don't know. But it's like, oh, it's the mountain, because it's like, it's so tall. It's like, well, yeah, of course, is the country super flat, of course it's gonna be like, oh my god, that's so tall. That it's funny out of context, because it's like that's nothing. It's like, that's truly nothing. Especially like if you're used to seeing like landscapes with a lot of mountains, I think it's weird to seeing everything when everything's flat. I think when I've been in places that are very flat, it always like, it's so funny and so weird to me, because I'm not used to it. So it's like, oh my god, it's so like flat. It's one of the first things that I always notice when I go to somewhere that doesn't have mountains. So for them, I think it's probably like that. It's like everything's flat, so of course it's gonna be weird that there's like something like emerging, and it's tall for us, obviously. But also the fact that they're the tallest country doesn't surprise me. Like I think I've never met a Dutch person that's like that's smaller. Like all of them are they look like giants basically. So that doesn't really surprise me. And also I think it's very, I love the recycling thing, you know, in the supermarket and stuff. But also I think I want to know more like about several things. But it's funny, I love that they have so many museums. I think I'm super surprised by the fact that it's wooden planks or something, like the base is made of wood. Or I don't know if hopefully it was like back in the, I don't know, 18th century. But these days I'm like, please tell me they've replaced that, because wood doesn't seem like that sturdy. So I mean, obviously it works for them. I'm not anyone to tell them. Obviously it's working. They're like one of the countries that has like so much like wonders at engineering. But it surprises me that it's like, if they're still using wood, I'm shocked, because to me wood is like, it's a sturdy material, but it's not that sturdy as in like metal. I think metal is obviously like, it's stronger. So I'd be super shocked just to find out that like these days in modern times, like the planks of like the canals and the actual cities are made out of wood. Like that surprised me. The thing about being cheap is like maybe it relates to the taxes, or like it's built like that because of taxes. So maybe that's why they're so cheap, or they have like that sort of, you know, people say, oh, they're cheap. You know, I don't know. I'm not gonna generalize and say that everyone's cheap, but maybe that's why they have that reputation of like, oh, they're cheap. Maybe it's because of taxes. So it's like it's a cultural and a historical thing. But it's so funny. And yeah, the questions. Yeah, I have a lot of questions, but one of them, I think at the top of my head, is the orange thing. I know that orange is like, again, it's a very Dutch color. Like when I see orange, I'm thinking of the Netherlands. But and I'm always wondering like why, because the country, like the flag doesn't have orange. Like why is it orange? But they're like, oh, because it's the orange family. I don't know how they pronounce it, but it's like it's orange. Yeah, but it's orange like for English speakers. Is it orange for them, like the color orange? How do they pronounce it the same? Does it mean the same thing? Like orange, if I say orange in Netherlands, people are gonna know that I'm referring to either the fruit or the color. But again, it's sort of like the same thing. It's an orange color. So I'd be like, is it because of that? Is it the same there for them? It's also orange is the color, and because it was like a nice coincidence that the family name of the royal family was orange, and they were like, well, you know, because our country, like, it's perfect actually. It's like, oh well, our families, like the family of our king or of our queen, like the royal family, their last name is orange. So what a perfect situation. If I want to show support, I want to show my nationality, spirit, or whatever, and my national spirit, I'm just gonna wear orange because again, it's the name of the family name of the royal family. So that's maybe what I'm guessing happened, but I'm not sure, because again, I'm not sure if like orange is the same thing for them. And also, like, I've never heard of the name Orange before, like that last name, like someone introducing themselves as like John Orange. Like I've never heard of it before, but maybe it's a common last name in the Netherlands, who knows? Or maybe not actually, because if it's the royal family, I'm not expecting a lot of like peasants to have that last name. But I don't know, so many questions about this whole situation of like the Orange family and the royal house, the last name, and why do they use orange, like so many things. But yeah, this was an incredible video. I feel like I learned a lot, and also like it left me with questions. But now of course I want to go visit. It's like, yeah, of course. It's like, come visit. Yeah, of course I want to go visit. Like it looks crazy. It looks like a beautiful country. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.